Yo, what's up? It's your boy Splendid Game and EGW back today with another episode of Duel of Sunset. First things first, y'all please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button. I'll be back with more. Today, I'm back with another deck profile. I haven't done a deck profile in a while, let alone a Duel of Sunset in a while. I apologize. Shinobi Strikers dropped the fire as DLC, so I was on that. But the deck profile in question today, we are running Sky Strikers. Now, as y'all can see, I'm just using Max C right now, and I'm just getting a whole bunch of cards right now. This guy, is trying to build his field up. Seeing cards like this that you see in my hand, these are like key cards to just, have your way with this deck. Go ahead and activate the Infinite Impermanence, and watch how this guy quakes as soon as he sees my field spell. You know what I mean? This is Sky Strikers, man. Not even gonna lie. When I first got back into Yu-Gi-Oh, this is definitely one of those decks I hate seeing at tournaments. Now, first thing I'm gonna say about all my decks, hand traps are interchangeable. You can choose to run whatever hand traps you see fit. However, because I do run Crossout Designator in this deck, that's why I have Drolox, I have Ash Blossoms, I have Kaiju, I have Maxi, even in the Nibiru. I even have a Nibiru in here. Yes, stuff like that. But mainly for a Sky Striker deck, you really don't run a lot of monsters. You run Sky Striker Ray at 3. Pretty much she can be tributed to special summon any Sky Striker Link monster. And then if a Sky Striker Link monster is sent to the grave or sent from the field by opponent's effect, you can special summon her out. Now, Rose really wasn't a monster back then, but now that she is, I definitely recommend you run Rose at 2. If a Sky Striker Ace monster is special summon, I can special summon her from my hand. And if an opponent's monster is in the extra monster zone, is destroyed by battle, or leaves the field, because of my card effect, while this card is in my graveyard, I can special summon her and then negate the effect of one face-up monster my opponent controls. Like, Rose is pretty good, but I just like Ray because she's that free link summon. We got Kaiju the Sea Turtle because, sometimes we get put in very awkward predicaments and we just need to get rid of a monster off our opponent's field. So that's what Kaiju is here for sure. Lord of the Heavenly Prisons, he's almost in the same category. 3000 beat stick. You can reveal him from your hand. My opponent can't target any set cards on my field. Then if I activate a set spell and trap, I can special summon him out from my hand. And what was it? If the card is revealed, I can set one spell and trap directly from my deck, but it's banished during the end of my next turn. So that's pretty cool. Like, I run him at 1 just to have something, just in case, I can't get my Sky Striker monsters attacks high enough. And I can't get they monsters attack low enough. That's really how that junk works with Lord of the Heavenly Prisons. We got Nibiru, like I said. Sometimes we go against our friends that like to run Prank Kids and Cyber Dragons and stuff like that do a lot of summoning. But you really don't need a lot of monsters in this deck, bro. You really just need a bunch of spells, because all the spells have effects for if there's 3 or more spells in the grave. So we got one Raigeki in here. We got Into the Void. This card, if we have 3 or more cards in hand, we get to draw one. And if we do during the end phase, discard our entire hand. Like I said, we want spells in the grave anyway. We're trying to have nothing but spells anyway. So that's how that one works. Definitely a keeper, a clutch card. Sky Striker Engage is at 2. This card pretty much, you can... Oh yeah, and all the spell cards, they work as long as you have no monsters in your main zone. So this card lets you add one Sky Striker card from your deck, and if you got 3 or more spells in your grave, you get to draw one. So Engage is very cool, limited at 2. Afterburners, this card lets you target one face-up monster on the field and destroy it, and if you got 3 or more spells, you can destroy one spell and trap. So you can run that at 3 if you want. I definitely run it at 2. Same thing with Jamming Waves. This card lets you target one set spell and trap on the field and destroy it. Then if you have 3 or more spells in the grave, you can destroy one monster. Vector Blast. This card, each player sends the top 2 cards of their deck to the graveyard. And if I have at least 3 or more spells in my grave, I get to shuffle all my opponent's monsters from the extra monster zones back into their extra deck. So that's cool. especially if, like I said, like your opponent's running Link monsters and you haven't even started nothing yet. We got, what's this? Scissor Hand. This one lets you target one level 4 Sky Striker monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. And if I have 3 or more spells in my graveyard, I can special summon that monster. So that's, it definitely helps get the job done. We have triple tactic talents in here because, people that know about that know about Sky Strikers, they're definitely going to Ash us, definitely going to Droll us. We're going to just try to find a way to, get us some extra off of that. Hercules base, I run this at 1. You can equip this to a monster, your monster or your opponent's monster. It can't attack directly, but it can make 2 attacks on monsters. Every time it destroys a monster, I get to draw 1 card. And then if this card was sent to the graveyard, I get to add up to 3 Sky Striker cards to my graveyard and add them back to my hand. Oh no, add them back to the deck. Yeah, add them back to the deck. Shuffle them back into the deck. Booyah. Definitely a clutch card just to get some stuff back in your junk for sure. The one field spell, Area 0. This card acts as like almost a dark magical circle. And except for you target one card you control, you get to look at the top 3. If there's a Sky Striker card, you add a card, and then that card you targeted gets sent to the grave. Then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you could special summon one level 4 or lower Sky Striker monster. I mean, you get to special summon, like, Ray, Rose, because there's no other ones in the game right now. In the OCG, there are other Sky Striker cards, and that's why these cards are actually pretty busted. I just want to throw that out there, just in case anybody's trying to get into some real life Yu-Gi-Oh. We got Multi-Roll, one of everybody's favorite cards. Pretty much once per turn, I could target one other card I control and destroy it, or send it to the grave. My opponent cannot activate card or responses to my spells this turn. And then once per turn during the end phase, for every Sky Striker spell card I activated with different name, I could set up to that many Sky Striker cards from my graveyard to the field. But when they're activated, they're banished afterwards. So it's almost like an instant repeat for any Sky Striker spell card you would ever want to activate. Busted as hell. We got Call by the Grave at 1. We got Hornet Drone. Sadly, this card is at 1. This card acts as a quick play, and it is turning a spell card into a token. And that token can instantly be link summoned. As well, if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, the attack of the monster, the token becomes 1,500 instead of 0. Then we have Widowwinker. This card, you get to target one face-up effect monster on the field and negate that face-up monster effects. And if I have 3 or more spells in my graveyard, I get to take control of that monster. Eagle Booster. This card lets me target one face-up monster on the field. That target is unaffected by card effects this turn except its own. And if I have 3 or more spells in my grave, it cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. So you can use that on your monster or your opponent's monster as well. Then we have Shark Cannon at 3. This card lets you target one monster in your opponent's graveyard and banish it. And if I have 3 or more spells in my grave, I get to special summon that monster to my field instead, but it can't attack. Like I said, we got one Crossout Designator. That's for all those hand traps that people like to run. I mean, I should definitely run it at 3, but I don't want to throw off my algorithm at all. But yes, we have Magic Cylinder in here for a trap card, try to defend our life points, of course. Metaverse for our Area 0 field spell, and we have 2 Infinite Impermanence. We love those hand traps that straight up get the negate going, so that way if somebody thinks they're going to do something, we're not going to let them. Now, Link Monsters. This deck is all about the links. Sky Striker Kagari gains 100 attack for each spell in my graveyard, and when Kagari is special summoned, I get to target one Sky Striker spell card in my grave and add it to my hand. Now we run Shizuku at 3. My opponent's monsters lose 100 attack and defense for each spell in my grave. And once per turn during the end phase, when this card is special, I get to add one Sky Striker card with a different name from the cards in my graveyard to my hand. So Shizuku is usually the go-to for sure. We have Hayate. Hayate is the clutch one because Hayate can attack directly. Yeah, that's 15 straight to the head. And then after damage calculation, if this card battled, you can send one Sky Striker card from your deck to the graveyard. Then we have Sky Striker Kayana. If this card is special summon, I can target one face-up monster my opponent controls. It cannot attack until the end of my opponent's next turn. Each time I activate a Sky Striker card or a spell card, immediately after it resolves, I gain 100 life points. So she's very cool for sure. But Sky Striker Zeke, this is the wild card right here. So all the other Sky Striker monsters, you only need one monster for. But Sky Striker Zeke requires two. And once per turn, when he's summoned, you can target one face-up monster on your opponent's side of the field, and you get to banish it until your opponent's next end phase. And then once per turn, you can target one other card you control, and this card gains 1,000 attack, then send the targeted card to the grave. And that 1,000 stacks. So, as long as you can keep Zeke on the field and get his attack up, Zeke will work for you. Then of course we have Blackluster Soldier for the times that we actually take our opponent's monsters and we just need to clear up our monster zone, because we don't need our monster zone being compromised at all. And then as well we have Access Code Talker, because we have nothing but Link monsters. We can just boost his attack up and get him all the way up through the roof. But without further ado, we finna get into some of the Sky Striker gameplay. You dig? Thank you. Now if you made it this far, you get to see how we really rock out with this shit. So, opening hands beautiful. We got 2 Rays, we got a Jamming Wave, we got Scissor Hands. So we go ahead and activate Ray and get Shizuku. Use Shizuku's effect at end phase to add Widowmaker. Pass turn. Now our opponent activates Unexpected Die, and unexpectedly I activate Ash Blossom. Resolve. We go ahead and negate that. I don't know what he's planning. I don't want to see it. So he summons a monster. You go ahead and specials out Warrior Turret. Turret Warrior. He's at like 3,000 attack. I use Ray's effect after Shizuku's destroyed to special her out. During the end phase, I go ahead and activate Ray's effect again. Special summon Hayate. I draw for turn. I draw into Vector Blast. So I go ahead and activate Vector Blast to send the top 2 from both of our decks. Then I activate Jamming Waves to destroy his face down. His face down is Kunai with Chain. I mean, he gets his attack boost, but because Kunai is destroyed, his attack goes right back down. So go ahead and activate Scissor Hand to special out Ray. But then we also chain Widowmaker. Widowmaker to go ahead and, take his monster? Hell yeah. Give me that guy. Booyah. Link off his monster and Hayate for Sky Striker Zeke. Sky Striker Zeke's effect to go ahead and get rid of Ray to boost me up by 1,000. He hits me with this trap card where I end up taking the damage instead. I mean, good thing I did it now and not later. My opponent's on his turn. He ends turn. Beautiful. I draw for a turn. I draw a Shark Cannon. So I'll go ahead and set it face down and then use Zeke's effect to pop it. Now I'm at 35. Now that's what you call plus interest. Okay, so we go ahead and summons Junk Warrior and sets a card. And to be totally honest, I should have got greedy. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate Hornadrome. He activates his quick play card. Pretty much his monster can't be destroyed, but his attack is half. Like I said, I should have got greedy and went ahead and summoned somebody else out. But I went ahead and used Zeke's effect, popped my token, boosted my attack, attacked over for 3850. Yes, if I would have just summoned out Ray and I could have linked the Ray off for somebody else, that would have been game. But we live, we learn, and we make teachable moments for other people like this. Because who knew that you could get Sky Striker Zeke attacks this bunch? Go ahead and pop my Metaverse I just set to get him to 55 and attack over his Junk Warrior. That's what you call Sky Striker madness, for sure. Next clip of the day. Okay, so we got a Ray, Rose, Drollock, Kaiju, and a Hornadrome. So we go ahead and summon out Ray. Ray's effect gets a Shizuku. Pass turn. Shizuku gets a 0 space. Okay, set 2, summon Solid Soldier. Gets some Spark Man. Goes into battle. Attacks Shizuku. Wow. I ain't gonna lie. Hero deck that doesn't poly first turn kinda like worries me. So we go ahead and use Raise Effect during his end phase to get out Hayate. After we special out Hayate, we special out Rose as well. Draw into another 0 space. So I activate one of them. Then I go ahead and use Kaiju's effect to get rid of Solid Soldier. He activates Jar Agree to draw one. Then I go ahead and link off both of my monsters for Sky Striker Zeke. Zeke's effect to go ahead and banish Sparkman. Then we go ahead and use the fill spell on Hornet Drones. Addison and Engage. So Hornet Drone now goes to the grave. Activate Engage. Engage get us Afterburner. Zeke's effect to pop the fill spell to gain 1,000. Fill spell effect gets us Ray. Activate another copy of fill spell. I try to attack Kaiju, but I'm run into a magic cylinder. I must say, guys, don't forget about key trap cards like Magic Cylinder and Mirror Force, because they do still exist and people do run them to protect their life points. That is what this game is all about. Now Zeke's effect gets him his Sparkman back, so now he has 3 monsters on the field. So we go ahead and use the Afterburner, use it on Kaiju. He activates his face down elemental recharge. Pretty much he gains 1,000 for each elemental hero he has on the field. I must say that's a good play on his end. Now we go ahead and use Zeke's effect to pop Fill Spell, gain 1,000. Use Fill Spell to get our Sky Striker Ray. Ray's effect to link to get us Kagari. Kagari's effect is going to add us 0 space. Activate 0 space. Battle phase. Zeke attack Ocean and Kagari attack Sparkman. Main phase 2. We go ahead and use our field spell on Kagari because we need our extra monster zone clear. Let's go ahead and add Vector Blast. Now we activate Vector Blast. Get rid of the top 2 from both our decks. Pass turn. He sets 1, pass turn. Okay, I got Eagle Boost. Yeah, go ahead and use Eagle Boost. Set Max C. Activate to use effect. Then we use this fill spell on Zeke. But since we made Zeke unaffected, Zeke's not going to get destroyed. And I just did that effect for no cost at this point. Got us a multi-roll. Multi-rolls on the field. We destroy elemental hero Avion. We looking good. Even though our life points are lower than our opponents, we have now totally shifted the game. So then we draw into the Engage. Activate Engage. Get us Jamming Waves. Got a Call by the Grave. Jamming Waves effect pop face down. He activates Hero Barrier. That's cool. That's really nice. However, I don't think it's going to stop me because Jamming Wave secondary lets me pop his monster. Activate Fill Spell on our Drolock we set to add another copy of nothing. Zeke's effect on Fill Spell, and now I'm at 5,500. Pass turn. Multi-roll effect is getting us our Fill Spell right back. Getting us Jamming Waves right back. And I think that's when people meet their match. Sky Strikers, you know, once we get our field, once we get it right, we take over the field for sure. So last clip of the day, y'all. We got 2 Sky Striker Rays, an Engage, a Jamming Waves, and an Eagle Boost. Beautiful. So we go ahead and use Engage to get 0 space. Activate 0 space. Summon Sky Striker Rays, set Eagle Boost. Use the fill spell on Eagle Boost. Go ahead and add his Vector Blast. Raise effect to get us Shizuku. Activate Vector Blast. Send to the grave. Shizuku effect gets us Hercules. Hercules. Okay, he's running Blue Eyes. So we got Maiden of the Blue, targets her with the other tuner, which chains her effect to get a Blue Eyes to the field. Crazy. but it works. So he got Blue Eyes White Dragon to the field. He's lost 400 attack because of Shizuku's effect. Then he gets the White Dragon with blue or whatever his name is. They attack Shizuku. Sky Striker Ray's effect activates the special. He attempts to attack Ray. Ray's effect to special out Kayana. Kayana effect to negate attack. He uses quick effect to tribute to special out another copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Dreadful. Dreadful indeed. Attack for 15, so now my life points are dwindling away. But I believe in me. Let's go. I drew into a draw lot. Okay, so activate jamming waves to attack his face down. His face down was skill drain. So he paid 1,000 life points just to get his card popped, so I like it. And we also was able to pop a Blue Eyes. Use Ray's effect to special Kagari. Kagari's effect to get engaged to our hand. Engage effect to add Hornet Drones. And then we also get the draw one off of Engage, and that's how we got Rose. Activate Hornet Drone. Now we link away for Sky Striker Zeke. And we already know where this is going, right? Zeke's effect is going to banish Blue Eyes. Go ahead and activate our our equip onto Zeke. Use Zeke's effect to pop equip. Equip's effect is going to get us Widowmaker, Kagari, and Ray back to our deck, because we already have another Ray in the grid. Attack for 25, pass turn. Okay. What is this? Return of the Dragon Lords. Yeah, that's the name of that. So that card is actually really good. It actually ends up saving him. So he attacks over Zeke. I get Sky Striker Ray back from the grave. Sky Striker Ray during his end phase to special Shizuku. Rose effect from the hand to activate. I end up adding Afterburners to my hand. And he also gets his other Blue Eyes back because of Zeke's effect. So activate Raigeki. Return of the Dragon Lords protects both his Blue Eyes. So then I link Shizuku and Rose off for Zeke. We'll do it once again. Zeke, get rid of Blue Eyes. Afterburner, get rid of Blue Eyes. Link off Zeke for Sky Striker Kagari. That's why we added her back. Kagari effect to get engaged back. Like, bruh, it's like an instant mindfuck, right? Like, yeah, I just totally did all of that. Add Scissor Hand, and then draw a card I drew into Ash Blossom. We activate Scissor Hand to get Sky Striker Ray. Attack for 24, we attack for 15. Pass turn. He activates White Stone effect. I go ahead and activate the Ash Blossom. That's the beauty of Engage, letting us draw that extra card. Opponent's turn. Activate White Stone. He adds Blue Eyes Chaos Max back to his hand. He sets one card and passes turn. Zeke gets some Blue Eyes right back to the field. But I think this is game. We go ahead and link off Kagari to get the one link monster we haven't summoned all day. Hayate. She only has 1,500 attack, but we can attack directly. And that's game, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I call Sky Striker Madness. This has been another episode of Duel of Sunset. Y'all like, subscribe, we'll be back with more. You did.